with me on stage, I have Sjöstrand and Emil Wanngren, and we're going to talk about the case Arla and how industrial partnership are cutting emissions and costs today. But before, Jerker, you are a site director. How does a normal week look for you?
It's quite hectic all the time. So it starts very early with the morning meeting, following up the production, and it ends on the Friday afternoon with some reporting. So that's I think that's an everyday life of a site director.
Sounds like it. And I know that you would like to climb up Kebnekaise.
Yeah.
When will we see you do that?
Well, my partner Sarah and myself are looking into it, so hopefully summer 2026.
Perfect. So almost until next time we will see you here, perhaps at Sustainable Business Nordic. And Emil, what is the most fun part about your job?
The most fun part about my job is being able to meet a lot of different industries. So seeing the vast variety from like big, huge steel companies and down to like smaller companies that are producing like bakery stuff and this kind of things. So really seeing the entire flora of the Swedish production.
And I can't help but to notice that you have a cast on your hand. What happened?
So I used to be very good at breakdancing when I was younger. I was participating in like really famous dancing companies. And some weeks ago, my kids didn't believe me. So naturally, I had to show them. When you pass 40, you don't do that anymore.
Wow, okay. The key word here was used to be, but I'm very impressed anyways.
Thank you.
All right, nice to have you with us. And for those who's not familiar perhaps with Adven and Arla, could you start with introducing Adven in a few sentences, Emil?
Yeah, sure, can do. So Adven is maybe the Nordic's most unknown energy company. We're a dynamic energy group. We have energy plants and we have water plants. We have only around 350 production plants around the Scandinavian country for energy production. And on top of that, we own 78 district heating networks. And then to support our energy production, we also have water purification plants on 180 of these places. Been around for 50 years. Nobody knows about us. Unless you have been doing the Vasaloppet, because then you maybe see our brand in the roundabout when you enter Mora.
There we go. Thank you very much. And can you introduce Arla in a few sentences, Jerker?
Yeah, I think the majority of people know our products, the milk-based. So we're a cooperative. We're owned by farmers, milk farmers. And, we produce everything from butter, cream, to cheese, and of course the most important part, the milk powder, which I represent.
And how has the cooperation between Adven and Arla helped Vimmerby optimize their energy use, and what results have you seen, Jerker?
Well, it's a really good cooperation, so I must say, not to make too much advertising for Adven, but it's really, really good cooperation. So it started by we had a need that we should reduce the energy consumption. And since we're running spray dryers and evaporators, we use a lot of energy, just heating up air and so on. And looking into this one, together with Adven, who was running our biofuel facility, they actually mentioned to us that, okay, we could help you out to do this one, and we could help you out to make some kind of investigation and some kind of calculation for the CapEx project. And by that, we started to investigate to say, okay, what could we actually do? So, and we found out that, okay, to move into the RO filter, the ROP water treatment, and so on, and also heat recovery. So then we found a good project together.
Yep.
And the reduction we did was up to 40% of that process area of energy consumption reduction. And that represents roughly 50,000 megawatt hours on an annual basis.
Which, for those of you who don't understand, megawatt hours corresponds to 2,500 households.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, so quite a lot.
And also the water recovery that we do also represents up to like 250, 300 cubic meters per 24 hour in recovery.
Quite big numbers.
Quite big numbers.
Yeah. But what were the biggest obstacles in making energy efficiency improvements at the Vimmerby plant, and how did you overcome them?
Well, as we have like 50, 60 different sites within Arla, and everyone is competing for the CapEx projects. So of course we need to have a really good calculation behind this one. And since Arla also working a lot since it's farmer-owned. We work a lot with sustainability projects. And when it came up to the board, they said, yeah, we would like Vimmerby, who is a major energy consumer. Then actually they said that, yeah, this looks really, really nice. We would like to put our money in that one because we know we will have the good return on the investment.
You mentioned it a bit, Emil, but was energy the only area that you improved? You talked about water as well.
Exactly.
Right? And what the combination of this contribute to both sustainability and operational efficiency, I understand. Could you elaborate that a bit?
Yes, of course, because this is one of the key cornerstones here that you look upon you look upon this business case holistically, and you don't just look upon one of the parts. So bringing the combination of energy efficiency, and also taking the water into consideration, because again now, so if you look upon this site up here, you can see there's one smaller plant, that's us, and you can see the bigger plant, that's Arla. But that plant over there is not producing electricity to Arla. As we said, it's producing thermal energy. And thermal energy is carried by water because it's steam, and then it's water again. So naturally, looking into the combination of using both energy and water was the key of doing it. And so we were first of all, of course, then upgrading the facility. The energy facility, like getting a new control system and making new reinvestments into it in order to make it functional. And then we were looking into the production lines. So we were also looking into how the milk was produced. And Jerker mentioned the RO filters, and RO filter stands for the reverse osmosis. So it's a widely used technology within taking away the liquid from your product. But using it within the production was a real smart move, because combining then the energy flow and the water flows made it possible for Arla to increase the capacity with 20% without making further investments or without making any physical expansion of their production lines. So just doing some stuff smarter. How about I look upon it holistically? So really proud of that combination.
You should be. It sounds simple, just being smarter.
Yeah.
But there's a perception that sustainability comes at a higher cost. How has Adven's experience challenged that assumption?
Well, we challenge that presumption every day, because all the businesses we are doing, when we're looking in the business cases, one of the main drivers is to make its sustainability profitable and possible. And if you really build in sustainability into your core business and not just making it tick in the box. I had some colleague here saying that, or heard someone else saying that. Then things really start happening. And then the second important stuff is that if you want to be compatible and have a good business case, as we discussed before, then you look into your core business, because it's your core business that you have the most or best impact when you're making changes. And as in this corporation, so we are the energy company. This is what we do. This is where we thrive. Arla is the milk producer company. This is where they excel and thrive. And then you combine these two core production lines, and companies that has the same drive, the same goal, but we have two complete different core businesses. But then bringing it together, we have this really good benefit from working together.
And same question to you, Jerker.
Yeah, how you make sustainable production and investments in a profitable way. I must say that coming from the farmer part of that, of course, the sustainability is really high on the agenda. And for us, it's not that much discussion about the cost as such. It's more that what is the long-term impact. So driving down the water consumption, making it more efficient, as well as the energy consumption is really key. And especially in a big power plant as we run. So one of the three in Sweden. So yeah, sustainability versus profitability. Yeah, it comes with the cost, but we need to take that cost. And that's also what the board said, that, yeah, this is an okay investment. So this is in line with what we would like to do.
Did you have to convince them a lot?
No, not that much. So the figure speaks for itself. So with just a reduction of the consumption.
And which effects has followed in the trail of the project when we come to areas as curiosity and knowledge from the staff operating the plant? Have you seen any changes in the mindset?
Yeah, actually. So one can say that if you divide the projects, you have the installation part, and then of course you have the operational part later on. So we made one mistake, and I will clearly admit that one. So when the project phase was more or less done, you normally hand over to the let's say the production manager or technical manager and so on. And we had a small area in between, so we had a change of staff and so on. And all of a sudden, when Adven was done with all the installations and so on, and it was time to hand over, we did not really have anyone to hand over to at the site. So we were lagging a bit. We lost like 12 weeks just because we did not have enough staff trained. So when we talk about curiosity, all the operators said, okay, we would like to know how it works, how is the operation, what should we do? Because just making a fatal mistake in a reverse osmosis filter facility, it will cost you like 100,000-200,000 euros just to change the membranes, the filters. And they didn't want to be contributing to that one. So they were really key on top and really wanted to learn. So that was a bit for the site management to actually to take a part of. So we now invested in a lot of training for the staff. But it's also with the other parts of energy consumption. Now they start to question us about the steam consumption, the hot water consumption, and so on. They start to look at the graphs in a different way because we made it possible together with Adven. And I must say also Adven is a really good partner because the local key account from Adven part, he is normally the one telling us that, hey, I can see in our consumption figures that something is wrong in your facility. I see it clearly. You increase the steam consumption and so on. So that's a really good cooperation and collaboration. So.
And this is really key of the cooperation because if we would be just an energy company wanting to charge them as many megawatt hours as possible, of course we wouldn't say this. But for our philosophy is to run this as a partnership for a long-term view. And if we would then run our facility at overcapacity or at maximum capacity, this will wear and tear our own equipment, making then us needing to invest into our. So it really is, and the most beneficial part would be, of course, be that we can have our production facility next to Arla for as long as possible. And this is one way of doing it, making sure that both of our facilities or both our plants are running at the optimal production level.
And what we see now as well is that in the trail of this investment and the curiosity of the staff and the cooperation with Adven, now we see new opportunities because the operators were really, really smart and been running the process for a long time. They now see that, okay, here we see some opportunities and possibilities, and they start to discuss with during the team meetings with Adven that is this possible to do in this way or that way, what will it mean, and so on. So Adven is also helping us making the correct calculations. So do we have the correct size of the steam traps? Do we have the right piping sizes and so on?
And if there's anyone out there that might be doing similar journey as you are, what would you, both of you, what would you give them as an advice?
Well, don't hesitate. Just do it. So it's our future, it's our children's future, and of course, if you walk the sustainability path, then at least you know that you do something correct. So, and if we don't try, we need to be running in the forefront in this country. So we can never compete on a financial basis or something like that with China or United States and so on. But we really need to be in the forefront. Really, be the trial market.
Exactly. Dare to do it. And then get down and start looking at the business case, or start to look and find a partner that has a similar drive that you want to have. But then maybe you can cooperate in different fields because you have different core businesses, and you will find those. But as you said, the main part is get it done. Start doing something. And as we heard before, a little less conversation, a little more action. But key message is also this. As you can see, this is not one of the hugest plant in Scandinavia. No, it's a fairly nice size. So this is actually doable for everyone. You don't have to be the biggest company in Sweden in order to do this. This is for everyone. Sustainability and sustainable corporations is for everyone. So just find your right partner, match up, and then make something happen.
Beautiful last words for now. Thank you so much, Jagger and Emil, for being here and sharing your story. Give them a big round of applause.
Thank you.
Thank you.